According to Ukrainian commanders, the Ukrainian army is advancing in attacks close to the eastern city. Although the fighting has only slightly moved the front line, it has revealed cracks, confusion, and alarm among Russia's military forces involved in the conflict. Attacking targets like weapon caches, command posts, armor, and artillery systems helps shape the battlefield for advancing forces. It's a typical tactic employed before important combined operations. Russian forces were forced to defend themselves against Ukraine, which forced them to make a difficult strategic choice about fortifying the city and sparked fresh grumbling among Russian commanders. Senior U.S. and Western military officials reported that Ukrainian forces have begun operational preparations in advance of a highly anticipated counteroffensive against Russian troops. Before Ukraine launched a counteroffensive early last summer, similar airstrikes were used to set the stage in the country's southern and northern regions. These shaping operations may last for several days prior to the main portion of any planned Ukrainian offensive, according to a senior U.S. military official. Since last July, Russia has failed to annex a Ukrainian city, but it has continued on into the eastern city despite suffering enormous losses. According to Ukraine's President Zelensky, his country still needs a bit more time before initiating the counteroffensive, in order to allow more of the Western military assistance that has been promised to enter the country. According to Zelensky, who asserted that they were arriving in waves, supplies that Ukraine is still awaiting include armored vehicles, including tanks. It is possible to conduct shaping operations that confuse the opposition. Last summer, Kharkiv had little time to prepare for their offensive. It happened quickly. Around the city, there has been a battle of attrition for months, and at least 3 different Russian military influencers have reported that the scenario for Russian forces is getting worse. In a report detailing the tumultuous situation in the east that was released on Friday, the High Command of the Ukrainian Armed Forces claimed that Kiev's forces were heavily pressuring Russian fighters and looking for weaknesses in their defenses. According to the Ukrainian military, the Russian military has reportedly conducted nearly 50 airstrikes in the previous day as fierce fighting puts more pressure on Russian location to the west of the town. The largest bulge of Russian defenses has only been breached by Ukrainian advances this week, by a distance of about 3 miles. But the victory undid what Moscow's forces had laboriously built up over several months. On Friday, the military's general staff revealed that Russia had launched 6 additional missile attacks. In an unexpected late-night post on its Telegram channel, the Russian Ministry of Defense denied claims that Ukrainian forces had breached parts of the front line close to the eastern city of armoured. The Ukrainian military claims that Russian forces are approaching Bakhmut and have recently carried out a number of airstrikes in the area.